Hey guys, welcome back. This video is going to be a little different than the previous videos on this channel. All my previous videos have been just kind of day in the life vlogs on what it's like to run a business and just the typical things I do at work. But this video is going to be a story time, and it's been requested quite a few times. It's the story on how I got into doing this, how I became a small business owner, why I opened up my own gift shop, and all that. It's a fun story. I like telling it, and I don't think I've ever put it in a video or really explained it all at once, so this is going to be a good video to have. I'm going to try to not make it too long. I'm going to try to just get to the point and explain it. So I grew up in Massachusetts, and for most of my childhood, my family had a ski house in New Hampshire. But when I was a kid, I thought New Hampshire was really boring. I mean, I loved skiing and snowboarding, but I could never see myself living here. We would come up to New Hampshire ski, and then I would go back to Massachusetts where I loved it and I felt comfortable there and everything. But obviously that changed. Growing up, my dad was a stay-at-home dad and my mom had a big business type career. I went to college in North Andover. I went to Merrimack College. And while I was at Merrimack, my mom decided to retire. And I think her whole career, her whole life was stressful. She worked for a big company. She dealt with a lot. So I think she was excited to retire, but I don't think it's in my mom's nature to do nothing. So I think she was looking for something a little more like lighthearted to do during retirement, something more positive. While I was studying abroad in Spain for 2 semesters, my mom decided she wanted like a little candy shop or something, like a fun little shop that she could do in kind of like her spare time. And she decided that New Hampshire would be a good spot. They had a new ski house in Guilford, which is a ski resort town, obviously, but also like a summer lake resort type town. And she thought that would be a good spot for a little shop. So I was in Spain and my mom was looking at spaces and decided to open up Guilford Country Store. She found a space that she loved and she had a vision for her shop. It would have candy, but also a lot of like New Hampshire gifts, t-shirts, New Hampshire maple syrup, homemade things, salsas, jewelry, country store type things. So she opened that up while I was gone and I didn't know much about it. I didn't really know what was going on until I came home and I saw it and I thought it was awesome. I thought it was so cool. Also, when I came home from studying abroad, I couldn't figure out housing at Merrimack College. All my friends were there junior year and they all lived together and they were all going to live together again senior year, and the housing that they chose didn't have any room for me. I was a little bummed out. So because I couldn't find housing with my friends at Merrimack, I decided instead of like rooming with random people, I decided to go and live in my parents' new ski house in Guilford. And I told my mom I would run her gift shop part-time on the days that I wasn't commuting into college. I was going to Merrimack 2 days a week and I was working in her shop the other days. And I really enjoyed doing that for my last year of college. So I worked at her shop for a year from early, I think, May 2015. But I think towards the end of 2016, I think we started butting heads a little bit at the shop. We couldn't see eye to eye on a couple things, and I was getting really frustrated. So I didn't want to completely change what I was doing, but I knew I needed a little bit of change in my life. So for that winter at Guilford Country Store, we were closed every Tuesday. I think it was kind of like the slow season and we just needed a break 1 day a week. So there was one Tuesday that my mom and I went skiing at Waterville Valley and we skied. It was fun. Then we went to the bar at Waterville and we were talking to the bartender and she mentioned something about it being free cone day at Ben & Jerry's. And we knew there was a Ben & Jerry's in Meredith, New Hampshire, which is kind of on our way home from where we were skiing. So we decided that we would leave Waterville and go check out free cone day at Ben & Jerry's because it was a fun day. We skied, we went to the bar, we were going to get free ice cream. We could shop because Ben & Jerry's was in a little marketplace. So that's what we did. We went to Ben & Jerry's. It was cold, it was snowing, the line was outside and it was so long. So we decided to walk around the marketplace a little bit while the line shortened. We both came across an empty shop in the marketplace, and just like the business woman that we are, the first thing that I said was, what can we put in this shop? Like, we were just kind of brainstorming. I'm like, oh, what kind of business can we start? We just kind of like, while we were waiting in line for this free ice cream, just kind of created this whole vision for a new shop. It was going to be kind of like Guilford Country Store, but a little different, and we were brainstorming what kind of companies we could order from and what we would name the shop. And we had this whole idea in like just a matter of minutes. So we got our ice cream, we went home. My mom called the marketplace and got in touch with the landlord and started talking. We went back with the landlord and looked at the place, went inside, looked around. It was pretty cool. So we told him we were interested. We were going to open up a gift shop. And this was going to be more my gift shop. And then my mom would have Guilford Country Store. So we could kind of work together, but each have our own shop, which I think is exactly what I needed. So we told the landlord the whole idea that we were going to name it Nahamsha, which actually came from a hat that we sold in Guilford Country Store. A family friend of ours is an embroiderer and screen printer. And when we opened up Guilford Country Store, he made a bunch of shirts and hats with his own designs. And one of the hats that he sold in that shop said Nahamsha, and it did really well and customers loved it. So when we had this new shop, I just like that was like, we should name it Nahamsha. And I thought it was really fun and unique. So we did that. We got the lease all done and signed and everything, and we were good to go. So financially, starting up a new small business isn't cheap, but since Guilford Country Store was running for so long, we were able to take some profits from that store and help buy the initial inventory for the new Nahamsha gifts. And then I was able to pay that off later once the store got up and running a little bit. So the startup costs weren't bad for me because we already had that first store. So a lot of people were wondering how I financially started a business so young. I think at this point I was just less than a year out of graduating from college. So I was probably 22. This was it. This was my career after college. I was a small business owner. So Nahamsha Gifts that I started in 2017 in Mill Falls Marketplace is not the shop that I'm standing in right now. So obviously something changed. That shop that I first opened was in a marketplace. And when you're in a marketplace, there's more rules that you have to follow. And it just got to a point where I couldn't make any of my own decisions for my own company. Everything that I wanted to do for my small business had to get approved from other people. And these other people were not on the same page as me. So everything I wanted to do for my small business, I couldn't do. And that was really tough for me. So I opened up my own small business because I wanted to run it. Like, I wanted to be creative. I wanted to bring things into my store, and I wanted to just have all this freedom of being a small business owner. And I got to the point where I was there for years and years, and I ran out of all of my freedom. And I was really struggling with that, like mentally. It really hurt. People weren't particularly nice to me. I really hope certain people don't watch this video. But yeah, I knew I needed a change. I was just gonna stop my gift shop. I was applying for full-time jobs at like Gunstock Mountain and other places because I just needed to get out of this. But I had one employee at my shop that has been there since I opened it, and I loved her. She was such a good manager for the shop, and I didn't want to get rid of her. So I was like, I need to keep Nahamsha Gifts open. Like, I love this business that I built over the last couple of years. I have such a fantastic employee. I need to just take my shop and move it somewhere else. So I got word, I forget from who, it might have been my mom or the lady that works at my shop, that this space that I'm standing in right now is available. This is actually like probably less, like 100 or 200 yards away from my old spot. So I didn't have to move far, but it's not in the marketplace anymore. And I was really nervous leaving the marketplace because the marketplace is very known in this whole Lakes region. A lot of people go to the marketplace to walk around and shop. And I felt that leaving the marketplace, no one would walk to where my shop is now. It's on Main Street. A lot of people will drive by, but I was nervous that I wasn't going to get as much walking traffic. But I was wrong. Like, this store has done really well. I saw the for lease sign on this store's window, and my mom and I called. We looked at it, and it happened really fast, just like it did the first time. This was around like Christmas of 2020 that I moved up here. A lot of people think I moved because of 2020 and COVID, but that was just not the case. That was just the timing. 2020 in the marketplace in my old shop was actually one of my best years that I've had in this business. So it's just kind of unfortunate that I had to leave during one of my best years, but I am so much happier in this spot, and it does just as well. And I am just really happy here that, and this store is doing well enough that I was able to leave for 4 months and hike the Appalachian Trail. And that's what I want as a small business owner. I don't think I would have been able to leave for 4 months in that other location. So I just feel a lot better here. Yeah, I guess this video wasn't really a story on why I switched my gift shops, but I think that was a big part in my story, is moving my gift shop from one location to the other. So I think that's gonna clear it up on how I opened up my own small business and how New Hampshire Gifts came to be. If you have any other questions about this story, leave them in the comments and I will get back to you. But yeah, that is my story. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.